Hey, hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Arthur Culpepper. I have an Instagram link at AC2015 ACE. That's an Instagram link at AC2015 ACE. That's my Instagram link. And my Facebook is Arthur Culpepper. My YouTube is Arthur Culpepper. That will be changing, hopefully, sooner than later. I'm a young black man that's been going through a lot over the few years. Got a few disabilities and a few things that's going on in my life that's preventing me from working and prevent me from doing a lot of things that I used to do. I've been just looking at videos and looking at YouTube videos, and I was just uh, watching the Cat Williams and the Tiffany Haddish interview, and I've seen the Cat Williams interview, and I've seen the Red interview and the comments that he had and so forth. And I just want to say, like, uh, I like Cat Williams' attitude. And the reason why I like Cat Williams' attitude is because he's one of those guys that want to see people do better. He's one of those guys that want to see people do good. And obviously, that's what he's doing because he's using his platform to make that happen for other people. Um, I also understand, some of the things that Cat Williams was saying about the industry within itself. But like Kevin said, everything is fact checked. Everybody can figure out what they want to find out if it's the truth or not by just fact checking. Well, I'm finna start an entity, and I'm finna start a platform that's gonna help uh, community-based children getting in these communities and trying to figure out what can we do to stop all of this killing. What can we do with these kids? Get in touch with these mothers that's having these kids. We got 12, 13, 14-year-old, 15-year-old kids out here. Where are these parents at? When are they involved in their lives? So that's uh that's the platform that I'm trying to bring. Basically, I'm going to try and help, the best way that I can. So in a sense, I'm gonna end up being probably the bad guy. Uh, the things that I got planned, and understand this: we all are black geniuses in some shape, form, or fashion. We have to understand that we built this country off our backs and our bloods. Everything that we have within this society was built for the white man that we built. This is something that we made. But at the end of the day, people forget that there's no such thing as white privilege. There's no such thing as white privilege. There's white only. Everything was based and formed and built around what they wanted. Not what they wanted for us, but what they wanted for themselves. So this is one of the reasons why I want to make this post. Because it seems like it doesn't matter if you have money or if you don't have money. Riches, poor, well off, whatever. It doesn't matter. But what I'm starting to see, or what I have been seeing over my 45 years of being on this earth and being around and amongst our black people, what I do see is a system that was set up that we're not understanding that this system was set up just for the things that we are doing. See, we have to realize and understand something that our ancestors went through 400 years of slavery. That slavery mentality is in our DNA. We can never get rid of that DNA because that's what our ancestors went through 400 years. My grandmother and my grandfather were born into slavery. I've had the opportunity to talk to my grandmother and my grandfather, which I call them mother and mama, because at the same time, I've had that rough life to live. But this is it. Paying attention and then listening to the things that I've heard and the stories and the things that I've heard from my grandparents about slavery and about how the white folks are trying to treat us and have been treating us. When are we going to grasp and get a hold of this is all a system that was set up by them? And if we don't start to understand that system, then we are going to continue to fall down the path of that system. This is it. 400 years of slavery. That 400 years of slavery, our ancestors watched their families, their children, their wives, their mothers, aunties, uncles, whatever, being raped, killed, hung, lynched, set on fire, uh, denied the rights to read, to educate themselves, uh, like for real. Uh, we were denied the most humanist rights of all, and that's just to learn. You know, I just heard a young brother on a post the other day that said that, you know, uh, we just been out of slavery, what, 56 years? 400 years of slavery, and you think 56 years has changed anything about what we're going through in this world or in this country? No, 56 years can't change 400 years of slavery. So just let me give you an instance, or let me give you a good look at what I mean. A system was set up. We all know that there was the house nigga and there was the out nigga. Well, we all know that Barack Obama wasn't the first black president. Those things were done for reasons, because when the Europeans went over to Africa and they spoke with the leaders of the tribes that gave us off, sold us off, and now I will admit some were stolen, some was kidnapped, but if you go back into history, it's like Kevin Hart said, it's check finders. You can find this out. You know, our ancestors were sold under false pretenses. So when you go back and you look at 1837, 1847, first black president, you had to know that there was some type of deal between the kings and queens of the tribes in the African nation and the whoever, whatever white man or European who was running these slave trades, that we had to show some type of authority because we're over here building this country for them off our blood and backs. So the system was set up long before we even knew what the system was. It started with the fact that we weren't allowed to have a book. We weren't allowed to read a book. If you were caught with a book, your hands would be chopped off or you would be lynched. If you were caught with a book, you would one of your family members would be persecuted, all because you was trying to learn or educate yourself. Come to find out, listening from this young man on the post the other day, uh, uh, they had this law to where if a black man wanted to vote, he had to read this. In order for him to get permission to vote, he had to read this voting card. And if he could read that voting card, he was instantly locked up because he wasn't he wasn't even supposed to be able to read that card. It was illegal for us to learn, basically. So he couldn't vote. Even if he could vote by reading this voting card, he was locked up after reading that voting card because, nigga, you're not supposed to be reading. So systems was set up for us, you know, it's called conquer and divide. You conquer and you divide. And the way they went about, they've already conquered us by bringing us here. So now they have to divide us. You know, my grandmama once said, and my granddaddy once said that even though they went through all the lynchings and they people went through all the beatings and they went through all the horrific things that were going on back then, they still became one in unity. They still got together and sung their peace and God songs. They still were a union as one because they all had to endure this together. So it started off with the gun education. Then it started off with the in-house and the out-house nigga. You know, anybody with common sense, and this will tell you, anybody with common sense, if you outside and you're eating slop, basically pig shit or pig food or whatever was going on, and then you have this other black man that's in the house eating the scraps from the good meal that this white man just ate, and he's getting these special privileges, and he's getting all of this different from the out nigga. The out nigga steady getting beat and whipped and picking cotton and baling hay and basically killing themselves and not being nutritious, not being not being fed, not being nothing, not being taken care of. Period. So that's where the divide started. So we learned right then and there to build up a jealousy of each other, to build up an envy of each other. You know, they called us niggers. We start calling ourselves niggers because that's what we seen. That's what our ancestors seen. Well, that nigga don't give a damn about us. He see us out here getting beaten, women out here being raped every day. That motherfucker up in the house, up under the fan, drinking lemonade. Oh, selfish motherfucker. He ain't tried to come out and feed me. But if that man did try to come out and feed you, there go his position. His position is gone. He's gonna be lynched, probably slaughtered, and then replaced by some other one that's gonna be willing to go into this house and get out of that damn sun and be that house nigga that want those benefits. So that's the divide. That's where the divide started. Every time you turn around and you see a black man or black woman out here trying to do something and do something good for themselves, you got another black man or black woman down on them, discouraging them, talking about them like a dog, like they ain't worth shit. But at the same time, that person that's doing all that talking ain't doing shit themselves. So, with that being said, what do we have today in our society? Like I said, that DNA carries on. You know, it's hard to get rid of that DNA because that's a part of us. We never can get rid of that. So now what do you see? We got these young youth out here killing each other, running around here with pistols, with extendo mags. They ruthless, they heartless, they have no sense of morals, they have no respect, and they don't have any respect for themselves. So what do we do? Well, we're supposed to be doing the same things that, uh, you know, Harriet Tubman, the three college kids that sat at the restaurant, Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, these things that they were doing back in the day uh, when they were trying to get equality and justice. These are the things that we're supposed to be doing today. But we're not doing these things today because anyone of statute or anyone with status or anyone that has a nice bank account or anyone that has a nice name for themselves, they don't want to ruin that. They don't want to die because they already know that if they push the issue or they expose the issue, you're going to get killed. You're going to get prosecuted and persecuted. You're going to be dragged through the mud. So People don't want to go through that. People are scared to go through that. You see what happened after Dr. Martin Luther King got killed. Shit, Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and all them, they was right there with him when he got his head blown off. All of that civil rights shit ceased. Ceased. When the motherfucking government got the Muslims to kill their own people, which was Malcolm X, that shit ceased. When the motherfucker shot Kennedy cold dead in Texas, that shit ceased. Because if they gonna kill that white man, they gonna most certainly kill your ass. They killed his brother because his brother was on the same thing that he was on, equality. Because they understood that we built this country on our backs and bloods, and they understood that we deserved the equal rights as well as the white man. But at the end of the day, like I said in the beginning, this isn't ours. We don't own the banks. We don't own the airports. We don't own the judicial system. We're not in the courts. We're not the judges. You know, we don't own the airplanes. We don't have all the big boats. You know, we have what we earn and what they decide that they want us to have. And in order to do that, you got to have a special talent. You got to be a football player, basketball player, baseball player. You got to be a singer. You got to be a rapper. You got to be anything that will be able to entertain these white folks because they don't have the skill and the quality to do the things that we are capable of doing. So what do? They pay us these so-called large amounts of money to perform for them. We don't own any NBA teams. We don't own any NFL teams. We don't own any baseball teams. We don't own these arenas that we play in. They own all of that. So I'm just going to make a quick reference. And don't get me wrong, I'm that guy that loves to see a black person doing good. I'm that guy that wants to see that black man doing better because hell, let me get in your circle to see if I can try and do something similar or try to do what you're doing so I can come up as well. So if you're in a position where you can make things happen for me, then I'm all down. So I want to see us black men and black women rise and rise to the occasion. So I ain't that hater. But I'm just going to make a quick reference. And I'm just going to say this here because everybody know it. LeBron James. They just gave LeBron James $48 million for 4-year contract. I don't remember the guaranteed money, but $48 million for 4-year contract. That's approximately $12 million a year. Okay? Fact check. You can go check your facts. The Lakers organization had already estimated that with franchising, advertising, ticket sales, and stand sales, and all of this media attention, endorsements, the Lakers organization then already came to a conclusion that by having LeBron James and their organization for 4 years, they are stood to make anywhere from 250 billion, not million, $250 billion to $400 billion within them 4 years of having LeBron James and the Laker organization. Now, people, Do the math. Even if it's the minimum, even if no, they gave LeBron James $148 million. I'm sorry, $148 million for a 4-year contract. Let me correct myself. Even if you take the minimum of $250 billion within a 4-year span of the money that they're going to make, you can take all of the players' salaries and put all those players' salaries together within up to the penny. Every player on the team, you can take all of their salaries, add it up, combine it, get a number, and I can guarantee you that those players' salary doesn't even equal 0.5% of the gross income that the Lakers organization is going to make. So while LeBron James is out here getting rich and getting this good $148 million, that's all good. I love it. I love to see it. But there's something else behind it that ain't nobody else seeing. What's behind it is the fact that you got these white owners and you got this white establishment that's paying us black folks for their entertainment. And we're not getting what's worth. We're not getting the worth out of it. Just like Kevin Hart said, he just got $40 million to do 2 specials for Netflix. Don't you think Netflix sit back and said, well, damn, well, how much money were we going to make? If we going to give him $40 million, how much money we going to make? I guarantee you that $40 million that they gave Kevin Hart ain't even 1% of what they stand to make. I guarantee you. So that goes back to modern day slavery. Modern day slavery. You come into these communities in St. Louis, minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. The city of St. Louis voted on a bill to raise minimum wage to $11 an hour. The people voted. The bill passed for about a month. That's what it was. $11 an hour, minimum wage. You can't hire nobody under $11 an hour. McDonald's advertising that they're going to do $10 an hour. A lot of companies saying that they're going to go ahead and start raising up these wages because $7.25 an hour, I don't give a damn how many hours you get. The time at the end of the month, you have dead and you still can't pay your bills. Your end still not meeting. Not at no $7.25 an hour. So yeah, the people voted, and the people voted for a minimum wage hike of $11 an hour. Now they weren't going to get that $11 an hour right off. They were going to start at like $9.75, $10, and then over a certain period of time, it would get to $11 an hour. Oh, you know what the Senate of Missouri did? The Senate of Missouri went and revoked the people's votes. All those people that went out and voted for minimum wage to be raised in the city of St. Louis was approved because that's what the people voted for. The Senate said no, fuck that and shit, and vetoed it. So where does our vote matter? We voted for our minimum wage to be raised to $11 an hour. Where does our vote matter? They took the vote away from the people and dropped our minimum wage back down to $7.25 an hour. So please pay attention to what's going on within our communities. I will be back. I'm setting up a platform. I'm going to use YouTube. I'm going to use Instagram. I'm going to use Facebook. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to bring awareness and attention. Like I said, my Instagram name is AC 2015 ACE is Ace. My Facebook is Arthur Culpepper, and my YouTube is Arthur Culpepper as of now. Once I get my nonprofit set up and I get everything finalized, I will give you the name of my show that I'm about to present, and there's going to be nothing like it. Yeah, I can guarantee you it's going to be nothing like it because I've been on social media now. I've been getting some good followers. I've been getting some good people behind me. And what I need is people to follow and subscribe. The more people that follow and subscribe to my page that want to make a change, that want to make a difference because everybody's involved. I'm not excluding anybody because it's happening in all neighborhoods. But know this, I'm very focused on our black youth because we don't focus on them, then we're going to go through this continuously, day by day. So, yeah, I just want to put that out there. Like, and that's what I'm going to be putting out there from now on. Like, information, information to let you guys know that there's a system set up for our failure. And if you don't pay attention, and if you don't recognize what's going on around you, you're going to fall into that trap. So I'm Arthur Culpepper. Like I said, this is my first post to YouTube. I hope anyone that would watch this video enjoy it. And if you do enjoy it, please, uh, please follow. Please subscribe to my page because it's going to take a village to get this thing taken care of. You know, uh, I'll be the front runner, and I got a couple of other people that's gonna help me, but I'm gonna be the front runner about this, and we're gonna try and make some changes. But the only way we're gonna make some changes, we're gonna have to get people to understand that this is things that they want to happen, and we're following right in suit. So, um, yeah, Arthur Culpepper, peace out. I just got to watching that video with Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish. Like I said, uh, I feel Kevin Hart. He's that type of guy that want to see everybody succeed, and that's what we need to try and figure out. Is like what we're gonna do to make sure that we all do succeed and we stop all this killing. So, peace. I'm out. Arthur Culpepper. AC 2015, ACE at Instagram, Arthur Culpepper at Facebook, Arthur Culpepper on YouTube. Peace.